Welcome to Brainish English Stories.
For 2 or 3 weeks, Florence studied hard. She wanted to do well because her father looked tired and worried. He tried to hide it, but she knew he was unhappy. "Mason told me I would get money for my investment by now," her father said. "But nothing has come, and he gives me excuses. I am sure it will be fine, but I won't feel happy until your legacy is safe." "Where is your Aunt Margaret?" "She went in ice for the winter, Papa. I saw her name in the newspaper. I want her to know you did not lie about the legacy, Florence." Florence gently touched her father's tired face. "It's okay, Papa. Aunt Margaret does not stay angry for long. Let's not talk about it anymore." Her father sighed, put on his hat, and went out for a walk. Florence finished her schoolwork, then went to Miss Denham's house to practice music. Susan had given her a key and told her to use it any time. When Florence entered, she was surprised to see Julia lying on the sofa, crying. Before Florence could leave, Julia saw her. She quickly sat up and wiped her tears. "Miss Harriton, please stay. I have a bad headache and I cannot study today. I just want to lie here and listen to your music." "Let me help you first," Florence said kindly. She brought cold water and pulled down the blinds. Julia became calmer as Florence gently touched her forehead. "You are very kind, Miss Harriton. You also understand people's feelings. Susan does not." "Is that a compliment?" Florence asked, smiling. Julia shook her head. "No, it is just the truth. Susan always follows rules. She does not understand people who struggle." "I think Susan is very kind," Florence said, surprised. "She helps anyone who needs her. Yes, if someone makes a mistake, Susan will forgive them. But she does not understand how hard it is to be poor. If I say I want to be rich, wear nice clothes, and not worry about money, she just tells me to be happy with what I have. But I am not happy. Do you understand?" "Yes," Florence said. "I also wish we had more money. But I worry for my father, not for myself." Julia turned away, silent. "I don't want to be rich just for myself," Julia said softly. "But I do want success, and I won't pretend otherwise. Sit down, Miss Harriton. I want to talk to you. Tell me about Lady Mason." "She is a serious and quiet lady, but the people who work for her and live near her love her." "Does serious mean she is a strict and unkind mother?" Julia asked. "No, not at all," Florence replied. "My mother said Lady Mason's only fault was being too kind to her son, even when he behaved badly." Julia shivered and held her head, saying her pain was worse. But soon she spoke again. "You speak very harshly about this handsome lieutenant. Do you know that many women admire him?" "I have only said what I know," Florence said firmly. "I don't think I spoke badly of Lieutenant Mason. But he has not been a good son to his mother. I think I will stop practicing for today." Florence did not like this conversation. She felt Julia cared too much about this man and did not want to encourage it. Julia said nothing more to stop her from leaving. She only said a cold goodbye and covered her face with her shawl. Florence went home. She had just sat down when her father rushed in, looking worried. He never came home so early, so Florence was surprised. But he ignored her and quickly started writing a letter. His hands shook, and he had to rewrite it several times before he was satisfied. When it was done, he turned to Florence. "My dear, you must take this letter to Lieutenant Mason. Go by cab and deliver it to him in person." "Papa," Florence gasped, looking at him in shock. "Yes, Florence, it must be done. There are rumors in the city that make me very nervous. To be honest, they scare me. I need to hear from Mason himself that they are not true." "But, Papa, wouldn't it be better if you talked to him yourself?" Mr. Harriton hit his hands together in frustration. "I tried. I went to his house too, 3 times. But his lying servant always says he is not there, even while others go in. They don't want to see an old man like me waiting outside. But I must know if our money is safe, Florence. I cannot rest." Florence tried to calm him down, but he wouldn't listen. His worry only grew stronger. "I cannot believe Mason has cheated me. He is an honest man," Mr. Harriton said. "I am foolish to doubt him. Please take this note to him, Florence. Insist on seeing him and explain that I am just an old man who has suffered a lot. He will listen to you, my dear. Please go quickly." Florence did not want to go, but she could not refuse her father. She had no money for a cab, so she walked fast, thinking of the best way to talk to Mason. When she arrived, a servant opened the door. His face looked unkind, just as her father had said, but he spoke politely and asked her to wait while he checked if Mason was in. Florence remained standing. She heard voices from another room. Then, as the servant entered, the voices stopped. "Is she pretty?" someone asked. "She is one of the prettiest I have seen," the servant replied. Florence's face turned red with anger. She quickly pulled down her veil and stepped closer to the door. But the servant returned and asked for her name. She gave it unwillingly. Just then, a man with a dark beard entered, looked at her, bowed, and walked to the window. The servant returned with a rude tone. "My master cannot see you tonight, miss. You can leave a message." Florence was upset, but stayed calm in front of the stranger. "Take this note to Lieutenant Mason," she said firmly. "Tell him I am waiting for his reply. I must see him." The servant muttered something, but she cut him off sharply. "Deliver my message now." His face darkened with anger, but he obeyed. The stranger turned at the sound of Florence's voice and looked at her closely. Feeling uncomfortable, she pretended to read a pamphlet on the table to avoid his gaze. The servant soon returned, looking even ruder than before. "My master will not see you tonight, Miss Harriton. There is no point in waiting. He will write or visit you in the morning." Too angry to speak, Florence left the room at once. As she walked out, She heard the stranger ask eagerly, "Who is she? What is her name?" She could not hear the reply, but just knowing her name was being spoken by such rude people filled her with anger. She clenched her fists, wishing she were a man so she could teach them a lesson. For a moment, she was upset that her father had sent her into such an unpleasant situation. But that thought quickly faded. She had failed in her task, and her father would be deeply disappointed. She paused and looked up at the bright windows. Had she tried hard enough to see Mason? Just then, the stranger stepped out of the house. Embarrassed to be seen waiting, Florence quickly walked away, not slowing down until she reached home.